All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for the latest HRAI webinar. I am your host, Matthew Bradford, and today we are inviting Panasonic for what you need to know key insights from Panasonic's indoor air quality survey of home builders and consumers. So, this is part one. The next part's going to be coming up in February. But this is going to be setting the stage. We got some good polling questions. We got some really interesting insights that we're going to dive into. But first, I'm going to introduce our pair of hosts for today. Sunny Parada, National Sales Manager with HVAC Solutions, Life and Devices Solutions Division for Panasonic Canada Inc., and Sarah Margolius, Business Development Manager, IAQ Life and Service. This is a long title. Life and Devices Solutions Division, Panasonic Canada Inc. But thank you so much both for joining us. You've got a packed presentation. So I'm going to let you do your thing, and I'll be behind the scenes to take any questions people might have and launch the poll when you guys are ready.
Okay, thanks so much, Matt. This is just wonderful. Sunny and I are just delighted to be here. HRA members are really well positioned to be climate leaders, as I know Martin shared yesterday during a government relations update. But of course, you're also on the vanguard of healthy homes. So we really hope that one of the big takeaways today is that you'll be able to access our survey, and we'll make sure you get it through the HRAI news, but also there will be a link in the chat. And as always, you can always reach out to Sunny or I for more information. And we hope that that's going to be some ammunition in your business. So I hope that you're going to be able to come away today with some great insights that you can action. I'm going to be speaking about the survey that Panasonic undertook, and those is really the foundation of some powerful communication tools and tools for your business. And we also have a few folks on the line today, I believe, with some of our distributors, and also certainly with Panasonic. So we have our Marketing Alliance Manager, Ashna Haji, as well as John Sneed. So please, we welcome those questions, and also we can always follow up one-on-one afterwards. Okay, so we're going to kick things off with an interactive poll. And there are a couple of interactive activities here during the workshop, but they're part of the design of indoor air quality and in education. So please roll up your sleeves and vote. Who's in the room today. Just identify who you are, if that's possible. And we've got a second poll question. Please rank your knowledge on indoor air quality. Just as a self-assessment. So feel free. Are you an expert? Are you knowledgeable?
Just a quick note to say that poll should be popping up for you, or it'll be in the bottom of your screen there. And Sarah, you can check out the polling results too, from your point of view. Okay. Which you are probably already knew, so I'm just going to back away again.
Oh, maybe. I'm going to look to you, Matt, if you don't mind sharing the results. That would be great. Okay.
Absolutely. So it looks like we got, a number of wholesaler distributors, licensed professionals, followed by, contractors and others. So those seem to be the bulk. And good to know, a lot are knowledgeable, over half knowledgeable. But, there are some people that this is a generally new topic, so.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Well, we're going to ask the same question at the end, and so feel free to exercise your feeling on that. Okay, I'm going to just. Okay, so a little bit about Panasonic. One of the things about Panasonic is most people in the world have some kind of relationship with Panasonic. And our goal is really to create technologies that make the world more enjoyable, make the world more sustainable, and increasingly healthier. And we want to do our part, of course, by helping people live better, assist in their opportunities to sort of meet and exceed codes and standards. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we help the industry meet human needs. So humans are really important to Panasonic, okay? People. And Here, one of the things that people may not be aware of is Panasonic is also a home builder. So in other parts of the world, we have built homes and communities. And here's one on Fujisawa. It's in Japan. There's just a few sort of metrics that, sort of showcase how we, some of the outputs of that community. But we really take the learnings and we want to apply that in all of our initiatives with our industry partners to help create better products and processes. Okay, so all of this leads us to the survey that we undertook. It's Panasonic really wanted to know how aware people were about the risks of indoor air quality. And we wanted to see if perceptions would shift after a crash course on indoor air quality and the science behind it. The results were really enlightening, and you're going to see that many people may have been unaware about indoor air quality prior to our survey, but when we test drove some key facts, attitudes shifted. And the most important thing, I'll just sort of baseline here, is it's a North American survey. There's both homeowners and home builders. That's a euphemism. So homeowners are both prospective homeowners, meaning people who are planning on purchasing a home very soon, or existing homeowners. And on the home building side, that's a number, like basically lots of different jobs on the home building industry side. And we're going to go into that later on. Okay. So the big takeaway here is on health and wellness. So this survey was not undertaken as a result of COVID. The shift on healthy homes it was already taking place, and that's partially driven by the whole wellness industry. And so this slide just shares a few big points about that. The other thing is that people may not know that, of course, we consume more air each day than we do fluids or water. I mean, when you say it, you get it, but people haven't traditionally thought about indoor air. And so that's one of the things that is part of indoor air quality, is people paying attention to what they breathe. Okay, so the first part of our survey is just attitudes. And when it comes to indoor air, of course, we knew that there was a lot to be concerned about. And we really felt that there was a disconnect between what was important to people and their motivation to purchase indoor air quality solutions. So we sort of test drove that. And what we found is that 62% of homeowners believed that a healthy environment was important to their overall health and well-being. And that mattered a lot when it came to purchasing a home. But only 1 in 8 felt that they had any negative health impact as a result of their own indoor air. Okay, so that was important. There was a bit of a disconnect there. But builders were different. And they were very comfortable, of course, talking about the benefits of tighter, more efficient homes, but indoor air quality wasn't really on the radar. And they underestimated the importance of indoor air for homeowners. Like only 10% said it would be a top priority. And they felt that energy efficiency would be more important. But in fact, the results showed that they were not. They were about tied in importance. So the key difference between the two groups, consumers and the building industry, is when it came to self-assessments, is that homeowners were more optimistic about their indoor air quality, and home building industry professionals were less. So only 2% of homeowners felt that their indoor air was very unhealthy, and a little bit more, 10% said it was somewhat unhealthy. But home builders said 30% of home builders that were polled said that they had somewhat or very unhealthy air in homes. And it really pointed to the fact that without education, homeowners didn't really understand. They felt that things that they could improve would be less clutter and more natural light or organic cleaning products. All of those things, of course, can do that, but they weren't really thinking about indoor air quality solutions. But the building industry did, and it didn't take very much, just a nudge, to get a significant percentage, 64% said no, IAQ solutions to have a big role to play. So the big takeaway is, unless there's education, no one's going to be asking about indoor air quality. And that's a powerful opportunity. So now it's going to come into the awareness of indoor air quality here. We presented a few true and false statements to our respondents and asked them what they thought. So on awareness, I think on the next slide, we may have awareness of indoor air quality. About half of homeowners rated themselves very informed about indoor air, but by a very light intervention and education, that jumped to 86%. And the majority of building professionals considered themselves somewhat or very educated about indoor air quality. But then after our survey and a very limited education, that also jumped. So it doesn't take a lot to get people to think and make those connections. Most groups were most likely to identify as true the connection between air pollution and chronic conditions. So they, when presented with some facts, identified those health facts as being true. They were less likely to identify as true high performance building facts. So around the fact that homes today are being built, more airtight and let in less natural ventilation than in the past. That was reduced in terms of the homeowner knowledge. So the health benefits really resonated well. And then we're going to say, here's a snapshot of who we interviewed. So basically folks along the spectrum on the building industry. And there's really a significant educational opportunity in our sector. And it really points to the need to keep current on the newest best practices around ventilation, but also the technologies, especially around purification. So what we're seeing is a lot of innovation in our area, but we're seeing a little bit of a lag as we're getting the industry, home building industry, to kind of get educated on new opportunities for indoor air. Okay, so now we're moving into the health risks. So around health implications of poor air quality. So the survey really tested perceptions on how they changed after being educated about health risks. So we shared some scientific findings focused on a few of these key areas, as you can see on here. And as a result, IAQ grew in importance to both groups. And it really pointed the way of how sharing key facts is a powerful way of building trust. So that's a powerful opportunity that you're going to see show up for us later on. Okay, so around sharing the risks of poor air quality, once there was awareness about these technologies, so we kind of shared some technologies with the group, purchase interest spiked. And the biggest motivator, perhaps not surprisingly during COVID, is improving health. And the top performing measures that customers were interested in purchasing was on filtration and purification. Also, high performance HVAC systems. And participants realized the importance of indoor air quality, with 1 in 2 homeowners and 2 out of 3 home building professionals finding IAQ much more important. And then we're just really going to move through this very fast, Sunny, because I know time is ticking. So we wanted to learn about how perceptions changed after being educated about the health risks. And we also shared key findings about powerful IAQ technology. So here's a breakdown of some of the measures that we shared. Okay, so all of this had a behavior change, or suggested a behavior change, because this took place in a survey environment. So you can see that homeowners and builders both increased their interest in both recommending and purchasing IAQ solutions. So basically, what the takeaway is, when presented or exposed to a few basic key facts, you could see the interest in indoor air quality really skyrocketed, okay? And the likelihood to invest increased. Okay. Okay, so the conclusion is, of course, there's a huge opportunity here for all of us involved in the home building industry to improve lives. And I just want to say this because we didn't really talk about it, but of course, improved ventilation can really improve health outcomes. And when communicated, in this case, we've got a stat that says about 20 to 50%. You can really make this personal. And I'm going to end with just a quote from one of our energy advisors that I've had the pleasure of working with for a really long time, Jack Chu. And he says, indoor air quality is personal. You can live in an inefficient home and it affects your wallet. And of course, it also affects the planet. But if you live in an unhealthy home, then it affects your family. And it's on that health, the opportunity to communicate improved health benefits that, we think is really a good one. And thank you very much. So on that note, maybe we'll open up the second round of polling.
And there it is. Second round of polling you can find in your chat. A little poll button at the end. So take a few moments to check that out and answer for Panasonic. Thank you, by the way, Sarah. That was excellent. Some really good insights.
Now we can all, I don't know if there were any questions that came through, but while folks are answering them, I'm happy to, and Sunny and I are both happy to answer any questions that come up in the chat.
So the two polling questions are, what are the most important ways you improve indoor air quality in your projects? The second one, what are the top barriers you've experienced when looking to improve your IAQ in your projects? Give people a couple moments to respond here. We're getting some good responses. It's like a horse race. One of the leading answer right now is improve mechanical ventilation for the first question. One of the most important ways. Yeah.
Is that surprising from this group? I would be, I'm thrilled that that's the leading horse.
The leading response so far for the second one, what are the top barriers? Lack of homeowner knowledge about indoor air quality, which you touched on in the presentation as well. So it really is an awareness issue too.
Okay.
I'm going to leave those poll running. You can check it out there, but I'll let Sonny do his thing.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Sarah. So I guess, sharing some insights, there's a whole lot to that survey. And I think we will be, give you access, whether, you go to our website, we send you a link. I think there's some follow up with HRI. It's more of a, sit down, kind of go through it. We really took a quick glance and a quick look at it just for time's sake. But what we wanted to spend some more time on today, and I think we probably have about 25 more minutes, is something that's kind of, I guess it's really unique to the industry and special to us. Sarah mentioned that, at Panasonic, the key thing was, we want to help people live their lives better, change their lives. And I think, a healthy life is a good life. And that's where kind of Breathe Well comes in. So we're going to talk a little bit about Breathe Well, the only complete air quality solution. And really, if you look at the slide that's on there right now, Panasonic, for you guys that don't know, is a global leader in indoor air quality. And when I mean global, I mean across the world. We have technologies, and whether it's heating, cooling, ventilation, air purification, smart devices, all of the above. And really what we've looked at is how do we, send that message and tell a story. And here specifically in Canada and North America, we've seen what the results show on the survey. And what we came up with is a really unique campaign / partnership program that, when I say unique, it's unique to a manufacturer. So keep in mind, we manufacture all of the heating, cooling, when you see that first paragraph there, heating, cooling, ventilation, filtration. These are all technologies that we manufacture in-house. But we said, how can we tell the story? How can we get the message out there? How can we educate and really give our partners? So, there's no secret. We're tasked to sell equipment and move equipment out the door. But how can we make our partners, meaning our channel partners, distributors, wholesalers, their customers, contractors, their customers, the builders that they do the work for, how can we really tie in indoor air quality and be unique in the industry? And that's where Breathe Well comes in. So we're going to talk a little bit about Breathe Well, some of the partnership opportunities, but also some examples. One really cool one that we just kind of completed that'll give you an idea of how how we can educate and create awareness and market indoor air quality differently, and really have a competitive advantage in the market. So we'll get right into it, unless there's any questions, which I don't think there are. So we will rock and roll. All right, so Breathewell, the only complete air quality solution. And we'll start off really by looking at it as a builder and contractor partner program. One thing that's not on here that I will mention is obviously our channel partners or wholesalers have the ability to obviously tell this story too, but we're going to focus in on the builder and contractor. Essentially, these are the people in the audience that are going to embrace the indoor air quality story, and move the equipment and create the solutions and provide the solutions to the homeowners, and to the builders and to the contractors. So when we look at building houses with the capacity to improve health outcomes, so there's the human element, right? The emotional attachment to whether you have asthma and you have some respiratory issues in your house. I mean, it's the air we breathe that contributes to that. How can we help build houses that will improve health outcomes? We look at receiving support to adopt new technology for demonstration projects. I think the fact that we're creating the awareness and we're talking about education, this is a new to builders and contractors. So we need them to touch, feel, install, test, all these, demonstrate all these different things around how we can improve indoor air quality. So it's one of our key things around this program. And then really the marketing side of it. So that's where the unique side of it is, what we've done, and you'll see through some of these slides, we've created some great marketing assets to really help our partners, tell the story about indoor air quality and how we can help improve lives. So, and at the very least, reduce energy use and carbon emissions, because I think that's that's always the elephant in the room these days when we talk about how are we going to reach our goals and how are we going to help the environment. That's obviously something that, this ties into. So we're really proud to kind of tie it all together, all in one. All right. So the challenge, the lack of awareness about indoor air quality, and that's what the insight or the survey, kind of said to us. There is a lack of awareness, so we need to do a better job of creating that awareness and educating. Sarah mentioned it, airtight houses, we make them airtight. We want them to be airtight so there's less fresh air coming in. We need to create that mechanical solution to help us ventilate. The key is, and we said this wasn't a response to COVID, but the response to COVID is, spend more time indoors, don't see anybody. We're looking at, we spend about 90% of our time indoors. So we want to make sure that environment is safe and healthy and clean for our family. And the fact you hear it all the time, indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. And the consequences of poor indoor air quality, the significant health risks, we know what those are too, right? I mean, it's not just COVID, it's a whole lot of other things that can contribute to, long-term illnesses and short-term, and really just to be a pain in the butt for everybody involved in the household. So some quick facts. I mean, we take 20,000 breaths a day. That's a whole lot of breaths when you think about it. We look at, it's 15 times more than the food and water that we ingest each day or drink. The whole 90% of indoors, and then that 5 times dirtier than outdoor air. It's unbelievable, but it is a fact, and it's been tested, and we need to really worry about what that air is inside of our tightly built homes and spaces. So when I talk about Breathewell, Breathewell is a partnership program. It's also a marketing and an indoor air quality marketing campaign. So just a quick snapshot. When we launched this earlier this year, we really wanted to get the message out about Breathewell. We have kind of a 2-3 prong approach to it. This was kind of the first push out, and you see some of the results on the side. We had a lot of people wondering what Breathewell is, whether it's watching our passion, our video, and looking at some of our website stuff. But there's a lot of people that were interested in looking at, what is Breathewell, and, the only complete air quality solution, and how can I incorporate this into my business? And we found that there was a very good success on that side of things. And then really what that led to is we look at some of the assets that I was talking about, and I'm going to touch on some of the marketing when we look at differentiating yourself as a like I said, a wholesaler, contractor and a builder is we've created materials around, you'll see on the left-hand side there, clean, comfort, and fresh. So those are kind of the pillars when we look at BreatheWell. How can BreatheWell and Panasonic indoor air quality technologies provide you the cleanest, most comfortable, freshest air possible in your home and your space? And that's what we've developed this marketing material around. So there's some, good information on, for example, air purification and circulation, whether it's humidity, all different things that we know contribute to poor indoor air quality. And here's how we can do what we can do to help. And you'll notice that in these slides and some of the stuff that I'm popping up, and you'll notice it in the next here too, is that there's a whole lot of people, and you don't see a lot of equipment. It's more messaging, it's more emotional attachment to indoor air quality. And that's where we kind of want to hit on, what BreatheWell is all about, right? And I think, when Matthew talked about the follow-up webinar in February, we're going to get into some of the technologies and dig down deep in terms of how those can help. And this slide really gives you an idea of kind of all the different things, right? So when we look at exhaust fans, air exchangers, heat pumps, air purification, smart controls, and we tie it all together, these are the solutions and technologies and the actual equipment that will, that we can help people provide that clean, comfortable, fresh air. So just wanted to pop this up as a quick kind of teaser for, we will dive into more of these products and solutions and how they help indoor air quality in our next webinar, but just wanted to give you an idea of what the technologies are that are built around the BreatheWell campaign. So what's important too is we want to get into, this is a partnership program. So I told you there was a kind of a campaign, marketing campaign. There's a marketing aspect to it, and this is kind of ties in our partners when we talk about partner programs, right? So how can we become a BreatheWell partner, and in this case, a contractor partner? So we'll kind of talk a bit about that, talk about the builder partnership. And like I said, we do have our channel is through distribution, and we have channel partners that are promoting BreatheWell more and more now. And we're looking at, really looking at them to reach out to these contractors and say, hey, become a BreatheWell partner. And what are the benefits of becoming a BreatheWell contractor partner? There's 6 of them on the screen there, but when we look at, how do we support these premium contractors that want to partner with us? There is some money there to be able to market and do certain things. Exclusive BreatheWell partner marketing toolkit. You saw some of the examples of some of the marketing co-branding that you can do. So we've created that already for you. There's no need to, create or recreate or find a way to market this. It's done as a partner of ours. A contractor loyalty program. And on that program, it's essentially, you're going to move equipment out the door, provide solutions, and we're going to give you a way to make some money, and a rewards program. Exclusive designation on Panasonic's dealer locator. So you're going to be a designated BreatheWell dealer. People want to see somebody and talk about BreatheWell. Well, you're going to get the lead that comes through. Preferred rates with financing programs to our partner Snap, and really give you a competitive advantage in the market. I think the indoor air quality conversation is one that people are not used to having. It's, a lot of times contractors are, especially in a busy season, are in a rush to, here's what this is broken. Let's fix it. Let's go, let's get this out and go to the next. I think that the conversation can be had when you look at BreatheWell and you lay it all out, is, really look at the solution that will provide the best indoor air quality in the space, and not just replacing a piece of heating equipment because it's winter and it's broken, but how do we look at that and improving the lives of the people in that home? So these are some of the benefits of the BreatheWell contractor partner program. And next we will get into the builder partner. So I mentioned there was a wholesaler kind of distributor partner program that we have, and then there's a contractor, and then there's also a builder partner program. So some of the key benefits of the builder partner program is we do have a builder rebate program. So when we look at some of the builds and designs and the communities and some of the subdivisions are being built, and we look at specifying Panasonic equipment into those designs, then we have a builder rebate program based on those purchases. Again, the BreatheWell builder partner marketing toolkit. So similar to the contractor, this is a way, and you're going to see a really cool example coming up. This is a way that you can differentiate yourself, really sell indoor air quality, put yourself above and beyond some of the builders out there, and really talking about it and having discussion about indoor air quality and how in our homes, the specific builders' homes will improve indoor air quality and help with all the great things like health outcomes and just to lead a healthier life. One of the great things about this program, and we've done, and you're going to see an example, like I said, support for demonstration homes, discovery homes. I mean, whatever you want to call those kind of model homes. I know that's been used, but I think discovery and demonstration homes are more, I guess, the terminology that's being used, because I think what that shows, a model home, I consider it as, the same old thing that we do all the time. Demonstration or discovery home is trying new technologies, right? And on this side of things, it's new indoor air quality technologies. And there might be new, more efficient insulation and different types of things in that home, but really test the market on, will this home sell, right? Will this, as a builder, if I build this home like this, will this sell? And I think this gives you the opportunity to really to market it around indoor air quality. And that's what really makes this unique, right? So friends and family program, what does that mean? Sarah mentioned that, Panasonic's probably affected someone's life somehow, whether it be, in the kitchen, in the family room, TV, microwave, a telephone. There's hundreds of consumer products. What we have developed is a way to, for example, if you move into a home that's a Breathe Well home, you have the ability to go on and look at friends and family pricing for a bunch of stuff to outfit your home with some great Panasonic technologies. And then again, number 5 is the same as number 5 on the contractor, is really separating yourself in the market, right? We call it competitive advantage, but how do you separate yourself from other builders and have the discussion about indoor air quality? Because it's an emotional, it's a discussion that needs to be had that we find is not being had enough. So let us help you, start that discussion and really give you the tools to have a really good, intelligent discussion around indoor air quality. All right, so I'm flying through this, but this is kind of another example of just some of the stuff, special project support, sales center, model home, discovery home. And this is just a preview to what we're going to do. So we've got a real cool discovery home, where it's actually a lottery home in Ottawa that we made the first ever Breathe Well home in Eastern Ontario, and that's through CHEO. So that's the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, and also through Minto, who is our Breathe Well partner. But if you can see some of the stuff on the side there, brochures, posters, counter stands, pull-up banners, digital assets, stuff to display in that model home to really educate the customer on, you're walking through this home has, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and here's why it can improve your life and indoor air quality. So just some of the marketing assets around there, which I think is important and unique to a manufacturer, right? When we look at manufacturers produce equipment and they sell equipment, well, that's a fact. This is, what we want to go above and beyond to help our partners sell indoor air quality, because we actually do care, and we want to make sure that we're building the healthiest, smartest, most efficient homes possible in the market. All right, so this is my favorite part, because we're really excited about this. And it's amazing how when something kind of comes together, but keep in mind, this is a new program for us that started at the start of the year. So when we're talking to builders, I don't think I've talked to one builder that said, oh, this is a bad idea. But you know what we're trying to do is we're trying to make, Minto partnered with us, Minto Communities, and adopted this whole solution, this whole idea. And it's amazing when something just kind of comes together. It's pretty cool. So again, the first ever Breathe Well home in Eastern Ontario. It's CHEO, the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. And really what you're going to see in the next few slides is incorporating what Breathe Well is all about on the marketing side, on the education, on the awareness, and really showing how we can, build a home that's really healthy inside, but to market it is, we want to make it as easy as possible for our partners to market it. So this is coming from Minto. I know it's cut off on the bottom left, but you see the Minto sign there, but this is kind of like a floor plan snapshot of some of the things in the home. And when you look at, and we know we're not talking about it today, but you look at number 2, because we do have an energy division within our group. So battery storage, solar, that's a whole different conversation, but that just ties in, the total complete solution around indoor air quality, but plus all the other stuff that builders are concerned with and want to incorporate into some of their new builds. But number 3, indoor air quality, right? When we look at going throughout this house and looking at an ERV in this home and a way to automate it with Swidget, number 4. And we look at those types of things around ventilation. I think in the poll, people said mechanical ventilation is important. Absolutely. It's one of the, the 4 things around, improving your indoor air quality. And it's one of the most important. So what we've done here is not only have we put the equipment in it and the people can feel it, touch it, walk through it, but we're also be able to explain, exactly what's in this home, what you're getting, and how it will affect, ultimately how it will affect your health and improve your life. So it's pretty neat when we look at it from that side of things. And I think that's what we'll always go back to is, helping people improve their lives is something that, when you look at Panasonic's year in and year out, we're always trying to do that. Whether it's ideas for life, we have so many different taglines, but there's really about helping people. And in this case, helping people get more healthy, stay healthy, and breathe better. So some of the things on co-branding, Breathe Well messaging on Minto's website. So again, you know what, we work together with them. They brought in their marketing people. We brought in our marketing people and said, how can we market this? So this is a snapshot of the marketing side on their website. So you saw the previous page that's also kind of explains the Chio home, but this is where I think is the most powerful, right? And on-site education. When we look at some of our technologies and we're able to, leave stuff behind for people to walk through, keep in mind, this is a lottery home, right? So lots of people are walking through this. People are buying, tickets, raffle tickets to win this home. It's a fundraiser for the Children's Hospital. But the fact that, these people can educate and say, hey, here's what's in this home, point to it, right? I mean, I think that's a powerful picture when you look at the lady with the mask on. She's pointing to our Whisper Air Repair and saying, you know what, that's Whisper Air Repair. That's not just a speaker, what looks like, where we can call out, everybody get out of the house. The visiting hours are done. That's a device that can really help and improve the quality of life. So, you know what, it's there, it's physical. We can read about it, and you'll see on the bottom right, there's some information on, actually, there's a copy of the survey there in that bound one. And then there's also our Breathe Well brochure, but the ability to scan that, that QR code, and bang, I have the information. I know what's in this house around indoor air quality, and I know how it can help me. And I'll just kind of fly through this a little bit, just a more example of some of the stuff as we're promoting and walking through this home. People can learn about the solutions that improve indoor air quality in the home. Again, you know what, another education session. This is our exclusive partners, Swidget, which basically automates our ventilation system. But, we have Minto representative, we have Chio, we have Swidget. We're able to learn and teach, and people, what does this switch do? How does it help? And how does it improve indoor air quality in the space? So all really cool and exciting stuff. And we've got probably, I would say, more than a handful of these discovery homes and model homes going on as we speak. And this was kind of our launch pad and kickoff. And it's really, builders are looking at this and saying, hey, this is a great idea. This is a great way to partner with a global leader in indoor air quality, but also separate ourselves from other builders. Because I think the whole thing before was which builder can build the tightest house. And I think now we have a way to really look at that and say, hey, you know what, if we're building that tight house, how are we going to make sure the indoor air quality is as optimal as possible? So with that,
I've got one. I realize that we should probably add one more slide, because it's to acknowledge the fact that, well, we know that this work doesn't happen with any one player, but I just wanted to, I don't know if folks can see this. This is the Better Builder magazine. We'll make sure that everybody gets a link to the article, which is available online. So you can actually take a look. It's a great issue. This is the recent issue, and there is a case study on, it just talks a little bit about this particular project. And we want to thank ClearSphere for that as well.
Yeah, that's great. And I think that it gives you kind of like an insight from, from our partner, from us,
Absolutely.
from anybody who is involved to make this this home happen, and this kind of like, marketing this type of home. It's a big deal for us. And like I said, it's opened a lot of eyes, and has opened a lot of meetings for us in terms of how can we work with you, what can we do. So if this is something, builders, contractors, whoever is on the line, if please reach out. We can kind of dig a little deeper into the programs and give some ideas on what we can do to help you. But be glad to meet with you. So on that note, we'll look at some of the some partners that we kind of, whether it's distributors, contractors, and builder partners. Some examples, there's more, and we've created, I think in the last probably 3 to 6 months, we've had an influx of calls that led to conversations that led to, let's look at this. And really, like I said, we've got a bunch of these discovery homes and model homes / demonstration homes that we're looking at, and we're looking at providing the same type of effect that we did with the Minto Chio home. So I think with that, we're going to go to this poll question.
Oh, Matt, we can't hear you. Oh,
That happens from time to time. You can read it on your screen. Now that we've had these folks talk us through, as a result of the webinar, did your knowledge of indoor air quality improve? And as I'm sure you guys will be happy to see, a large, vast majority say yes.
oh, good.
But we're just getting some of the people through here. In the meantime, we do have time for questions if you want to put them into the open chat box or the Q&A box. Sunny and Sarah can see those, and we can address them now for you. And your information's up there as well, so people can follow up after the fact too.
Yeah, and I would encourage, if there's any of our partners or associates that are listening in, to please feel free to share your contact details in the chat there, because we value you. And as we value HRAI and all of our members, this is a really, like, this is core, right?
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, guys. We just got that poll going right now. No questions as of yet. So what are the next steps for... Oh, I spoke too soon. Catherine says, how do I know that my air quality is good or bad? Which I think we touched on that a little bit in there, but I'm sure you could do a whole webinar on that question.
Sure. Some really cool things. So, I mean, I think the February or the part 2 will really dig down and deep. So I'm not going to go too heavy into it, but if you notice, I brought up Swidget a few times. Swidget gives us the ability to control our ventilation system, but also monitor the indoor air quality in the space. So I think a lot of us, I'm going to say, most of us on this call are probably attached to a smartphone, some form of a smartphone or device. And to really keep it simple and not to give a lot of it away is we can monitor a bunch of things. So when we look at indoor air quality, we can monitor temperature, humidity, VOC, CO2. We look at in overall indoor air quality, a whole bunch of different points that we can monitor and really make you aware that the indoor quality is at a certain level in your space. But the key to that, and what I would say is there's a whole lot of different air quality monitors on the market. It was a huge push. Everybody came out with one and wanted to sell one to really take advantage of COVID and wow, what's in my house? What am I, what is kind of in the air that's going to make me sick, or, in reality is going to kill, right? I mean, we've had a lot of people die from COVID, and we know that influenza and viruses and all different types of things lead to long-term illness, but also death. I mean, it's just reality. So we have a way to monitor your indoor air quality, notify you to say that your indoor air quality is poor, and actually just show you what, if it's humidity, if it's VOCs, and give you that reading, but also able to engage mechanical ventilation and air purification products to help make that environment a safer environment. And that's key. So, you know what, Catherine, I can tell you that if you have an air quality monitor and it says your indoor air quality is bad, and you sit there and say, well, okay, great. So now what? Right. And the now what is you know what, activate the ERV, activate a bathroom exhaust fan, you know, put the whisper air repair on that features NanoX technology. And that's how we improve the indoor air quality. And one thing I will say more about that is that the Chia Home, when you saw some of those slides on educating, when you can actually get somebody there and show them that here's the switch, here's the monitor, here's the sensor, go look at what's going to help you improve indoor air quality in the mechanical room. It really does tie it all together for a potential homeowner, and for that matter, for a builder. Because when we had Minto in there, and they're like, holy smokes, this actually all ties together and works. And you know what? The best thing is that you can sit in that room or stand in that house and you can feel the indoor air quality is, you know, is superior to what you're used to. And that's where the real satisfaction comes in. So more to come on Swidget. A lot of really cool technologies coming out from them that we're trying to incorporate into our solutions. But the whole set it and forget it, monitor it, engage it, those are all things that we can do and that are unique to Panasonic. And we'll be happy to share with you on the next webinar.
Thank you. There are some messages in chat. John dropped builder.ca as his website. Also, Jacqueline from Discare in Quebec, who is a Breathe Well distributor premium partner, says hello and dropped her information in the chat as well.
Oh, hello, Jacqueline.
There you go. They're all showing up.
Great.
If there are no further questions, we'll probably give people back about 10 minutes of their day, freshen their coffee, and just want to say, yeah, thank you so much for showing this presentation to us, showing these insights from the builders, and we look forward to February's webinar.
As do we. So thank you very much for having us today. And again, we've thrown some contact details up here. We welcome a conversation with you ahead of the time, but you know, as Sunny said, more to come. So thank you very much. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.